My topic is about silence and emotional arousal in video games. Um, as you may know, silence is a very mature technique in movie industry. The director Martin Scorsese is famous for a lot of movies like A Wolf of Wall Street and Shutter Island. In most of his movies, he used silence as a technique to attract people's attention. Similar technique are also sometimes implemented in video games, like in FPS games. When your health is low, you uh, you will hear little sound from the ambient, and you will hear more of your breath sound. But uh, other than FPS games, there are quite few implementation of silence in games. So what I'm trying to research is that will silence in video games actually increase players' arousal? So talking about arousal, my modality is GSR. The reason I choose GSRs is first, GSRs is for arousal, and it doesn't take care about positive or negative. It just take about the amount. And the second is that GSR is more stable in emotion than heart rate. So the game design, since there are not very not many games use silence, so I need to design a game myself that implement this technique. The game contains two stages. One stage is the first stage is a small monster stage, which is designed to let player get into a stable emotion state and also get familiar with the control of the game. The second stage is the boss fight stage. Uh, the experiment will happen in the second stage. And in the second stage, there will be a boss. So the boss will cast a spell. The spell is divided into three phases. The first phase, uh, there will be a yellow circle shrinking towards the boss to notice the player that boss is going to use the spell. And the second phase, uh, the boss will freeze for 2 seconds. And actually, this is the phase where silence might happen. And the third phase is the boss will use the spell, and the yellow circle will expand and hurt player if the player is not far away. The experiment design. Uh, there will there were totally 8 participants. They are divided into two groups and doing a comparison experiment. As we talked in the phase two, one group will play a version with a silent phase two, and another group will play a version with a normal phase two. The data. So I'm using two variables here. One is called C and one is called PK0. And C is derived by the dividing the average GSR of the first 3 times of boss using spell by the average GSR from the start of boss fight to the third time of boss using spell. Uh, the PK0 is derived by dividing the average GSR peak heights in the phase 2 for the first 3 boss casting spell by the G2. So why do this? The first why three times because player's emotion is the strongest when he first meet the boss. So I just use the first three times, but not the later one. And why they all divide by the G2. So this to do this step will make sure that we remove the players' individual differences because some player may have a higher GSR all the time. Some players may have a lower GSR all the time. So if we divide it by the average GSR from all the time, then we will remove these individual differences. So these two variables, C is more focused on the average GSR average arousal of all the peaks, and PK will focus more on the very moment that silence happen, which is a phase two. The result. So after observing the C and PK value, uh, there is no obvious difference between silent group and a non-silent group. So the reason might be that first the participant count is not large enough. So although we try to remove individual differences by dividing the average, but still each player may have a different skills, and some may play shooting games before, some may not. So this kind of differences is hard to remove by data techniques. Uh, and also the boss fight design may not be attractive and intensive enough. So if it's too easy, the player will not be aroused, and also if they are not interested in this kind of game, they are also not going to be aroused. So I think these are this might be the two factors that affect the result. That's all. Thank you.